Signs may look like a simple alien invasion thriller on the surface, but behind the scenes, it was built using smart filmmaking tricks, psychological suspense, and practical effects rather than non-stop CGI spectacle. Director M. Night Shyamalan understood that sometimes what you don't show is more terrifying than what you do. That's why many of the film's most unforgettable moments were created through clever camera angles, hidden effects, real performances, and carefully controlled visual effects. And as always in this video, we're going deep into the making of Signs and discover how this movie was made. Let's start with the unforgettable climax of Signs, a sequence that was not only powerful in the story, but also incredibly smart from a filmmaking perspective. Inside the living room, chaos breaks loose when the alien suddenly grabs Morgan and lifts him into the air. On screen, the moment feels shocking, dangerous, and completely real. But behind the scenes, it was carefully designed using a mix of practical effects, hidden rigging, and clever camera work. Director M. Night wanted the climax to feel grounded and physical rather than overly digital. To create the shot where Morgan is lifted, the child actor was secured with a hidden wire harness system, allowing him to be raised safely while appearing helpless on screen. Alongside that, the production used a mechanical alien hand, representing the same injured hand whose fingers had been cut off earlier at Ray Reddy's house. The small continuity detail helped connect both scenes visually. For certain close-up angles, a real performer wearing a blue costume physically held and positioned the child actor while mimicking the alien's movements. Because of the unnatural posture and floating body language, the creature ended up feeling even more disturbing on camera. Then comes Merrill's iconic baseball attack, performed by Joaquin Phoenix. It looks like he smashes the alien directly, but in reality, the bat often never touched anything. During filming, there was no full prop alien creature standing in front of him for many shots. Joaquin had to swing into empty space, relying on timing and imagination. The impact was later sold through careful camera angles, sound design, and fast editing, making the strike feel real and powerful. After being hit, the alien drops Morgan to the floor. That moment was also achieved safely. Instead of any real fall, the actor was placed on a custom padded tray or platform, which was slowly tilted so he could slide downward naturally. This created the illusion of a sudden drop without putting the child actor in danger. When glasses of water begin splashing onto the alien and his skin appears to burn, the effect was created through a mix of practical and digital methods. Real water was first poured onto a performer to capture a believable moment and splashes. Later, the visual effects team layered the alien design over that performance and added digital burn and dissolving skin effects in post-production. Because the water itself was real, the scene feels grounded and believable, while the CGI enhancement adds the supernatural reaction. It's a perfect example of practical footage and subtle VFX working together. What truly makes the climax so effective is not just the effects, but how it is presented. Tight camera framing, dim lighting, and rapid cutting constantly shift attention between Merrill, Morgan, and the alien. The creature is rarely shown clearly in bright light, forcing the audience's imagination to fill in the fear. That restraint is exactly what makes the scene so tense and memorable. Another tense moment comes to Ray Reddy's house, when Graham, played by Mel Gibson, reaches under the door and slashes at the alien's fingers with a knife. The scene feels brutal and realistic, but it was created using practical animatronics, prosthetics, and digital finishing work. For the sequence, the crew built a special door set with a custom gap underneath, designed specifically for the effect. Instead of placing a real actor's hand there, the team used a mechanical alien hand prop, operated by puppeteers sitting off camera. The hand was covered in layers of silicone and textured materials, so it would resemble living organic skin. Its finger movements were manually controlled, giving it a creepy, lifelike motion. When Graham strikes downward, the actual severing of the fingers is digitally enhanced in post-production. So while the hand itself was practical and physically present on set, the cutting movement and aftermath were refined with CGI. This blend of real props and digital effects is why the scene still feels so convincing and intense today. One of the most effective suspense moments in Signs happens when Graham first sees something moving in his cornfield. Instead of fully revealing the alien, Director Knight chose a far smarter approach, giving the audience only a quick, unsettling glimpse of its leg. That blink and you miss it moment creates more fear than a full reveal ever could. For the shot, the production used a model alien leg prop, which was moved according to the scene's timing. Rather than showing the creature clearly, the camera was placed at an angle where the corn leaves partially blocked the frame, constantly interrupting the audience's view. The alien steps into sight for only a second and instantly disappears again, leaving viewers unsure of what they just saw. The scene was filmed in a point-of-view style, meaning the audience sees exactly what Graham sees in that moment. Because the image is unclear and brief, it creates doubt instead of certainty. That uncertainty is what makes the scene so creepy. Instead of relying on visual effects spectacle, the filmmakers used camera placement, timing, and limited visibility to build psychological horror. The most iconic reveal in the film comes through a television screen, when a supposed news clip shows children at a birthday party in Brazil, and suddenly an alien walks past the alleyway. For many viewers, this became the scariest moment in the movie because it felt disturbingly real. To achieve that realism, the scene was intentionally shot like raw amateur footage. A female performer was first used to create the alien's body movement and walk cycle. She performed the motion in controlled conditions, allowing the team to capture a natural, human-like movement pattern. Later, the same motion was matched to the party environment, so the perspective and timing felt authentic. In post-production, a CGI alien model was layered over the performer's movement, giving it an unnatural body shape while preserving believable motion. The base footage was filmed using a handheld camera style and intentionally kept slightly low quality, shaky, and imperfect, just like real home video footage. Because of that rough presentation, the CGI blends naturally into the scene. Viewers don't focus on effects, they react emotionally, as if they're watching a real incident captured on tape. That mix of real human motion and digital enhancement is what makes the birthday party scene so unforgettable. The farmhouse and endless cornfields seen throughout Signs may look like an existing rural location, but much of it was specifically created for the film. In Bucks County, Pennsylvania, the production team transformed an empty field into Graham's world from the ground up. They built a full 3-story Victorian farmhouse, not just a front-facing movie set. It was designed as a functional structure, so filming could happen naturally inside and outside the home. This gave the actors a real environment to move through, helping the family scenes feel authentic. The bigger challenge, however, was the cornfield itself. At the time, the area was dealing with drought conditions, which made growing crops difficult. Instead of creating fake fields with CGI, Shyamalan chose realism. The production installed an expansive irrigation system and grew real corn across the property. Once the field was ready, the famous crop circles were physically carved into the crops, rather than added digitally. This meant actors could stand inside real formations and react to something tangible around them. That commitment to practical filmmaking gave the movie a grounded atmosphere. The house felt lived in, the cornfields felt endless, and the mystery felt real, proving that sometimes building it for real creates more impact than any computer effect ever could. One of the most underrated strengths of Signs is the emotional realism brought by its 2 child actors. While working with children on film sets can often be unpredictable and difficult, the behind-the-scenes experience on Signs was surprisingly smooth and positive. In fact, director M. Night Shyamalan reportedly considered it one of the easiest shoots of his career, largely because of the talent and professionalism of Abigail Breslin and Rory Culkin. Abigail Breslin was only around 5 to 6 years old at the time, yet she delivered a performance far beyond her age. She wasn't simply acting cute or repeating lines. She brought genuine emotion, innocence, and timing to every scene. Whether delivering humorous moments or reacting during intense emotional scenes, she made the character feel completely real. Many people on set were reportedly impressed by how naturally she performed under pressure. At the same time, Rory Culkin brought a very different but equally effective energy. His performance was subtle, quiet, and controlled, perfectly matching the sensitive and vulnerable nature of his character. Instead of overreacting, he relied on expressions and sincerity, which made many of his scenes feel even more powerful. Together, both child actors often matched the emotional level of the adult cast, raising the quality of the scenes around them. If you enjoyed discovering the hidden making of Signs, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know which movies' behind-the-scenes secrets I should cover next.